Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is Three of Stones and Creativity. And, when I meditate on this card, the immediate thing I look at is where the green woman's hands are placed. And I look at her feet, okay? With this being a stone card, stones are all about stability and security, and her feet are grounded, okay? It's almost like she's going to become a tree between these two pillars, but if you look closely where her hands are, one's on a horse and one's on a bull. And, for me, the bull is a Taurus, all right? And the horse, goes back to the Knight of Stones, the horse, to lead and carry you along your way. All right, so, with creativity, if you look at the stones in the numerology, it's the first one is the foundation of life, the Ace of Stones. The second one is the challenge with the Two of Stones, and then comes creativity. And I look at this creativity and I say, okay, something needs to be thought of creatively. Something needs to be brought up in a creative fashion to provide more options. All right, and I realize that, the universe creates all, okay? And for that creative artist, they have to listen to that inner voice. They have to listen to the intuition on what's going on here. And, maybe this gal listened to her intuition. Maybe she's the one that, carved out, the horse and the bull there, okay? But you have to meditate on that energy. You have to meditate on that aspect of saying, you know what? What's the best way of approaching this? And, be creative in your thought process. You don't want to be closed in that thought process. You have to open it up. And once you open up to the universe and you open up to that thought process and you open up to the energy, all right, that's where, the energy begins to flow through you and be able to generate ideas. And, once you do that and you get into that creative flow, you become inspired to create even more energy. All right, and this in turn then heals and nourishes you as you're moving forward. And once you're into that flow, that spiritual relationship also allows you to be one with the universe, allows you to see things in a different light that you may not have realized. And artistic beauty takes on many different forms. Some can take on in pottery or in film, in sewing, and, obviously art, however you want to look at it. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder as well. You could be walking, down the road and notice a beautiful tree and think about the creative aspect that was there, that the universe provided for that to look good, okay? The good thing about that is whenever there's something created, all right, others are able to enjoy it. If it's in a project situation and you create something, your legacy is down the road, okay? Because that could be something that used over time by you and by others. If it's creating a new relationship, that could be lasting in its own self, all right, and have its own type of energy. Same thing with creating, new friends, getting out and meeting new people in the social settings, all right? That can be exciting as well. So that's, today's card, that Three of Stones, creativity. And when I look at the rest of the spread that's out there, you still have the 3 10s, okay? And that's, I talked about that yesterday, where the 3 10s are an ending coming quickly, okay? So whatever that ending may be, if it's a job situation, maybe you have to be, think creatively into how you want to go about moving into another job or leaving the job. For myself, I always look at the aspect of, I want to train somebody else so I can move on or move up, all right? And that's that creative piece of it. So, when you look at your career opportunities and, maybe something's coming to an end real quick. Maybe you want something to come to an end real quick. You have to be creative in your thinking and saying, you know what? How can I do this to benefit me? Okay, how can I do this to help me on my spiritual path? Same thing in a relationship. If you're looking for something, to come to an end pretty quick, All right, there's got to be a mutual agreement on how things are going, and most relationships don't end that way. All right, but if you could be amicable along that relationship and want to start another path, and and realize that the energy that they're providing for you is no longer fulfilling, then you have to be creative, okay, in trying to figure out how to do that. Same thing with a social setting. All right, you have to be creative. If maybe your favorite pub is shutting down due to COVID. All right, okay, so what do we do next? You have to be creative. Maybe we have a party or something like that to celebrate. Okay, so that's the aspects of things coming to an ending quickly. And when things come to an end, realize that journey card. Okay, because if you can let things go and let it die, all right, there's going to be new growth coming in. And with that new growth, you have that opportunity to learn something new or teach something new. All right, the moon is guiding you on that path to help you get to that other side. Okay, and to give you that balance within your emotional stability. You've also got the Ten of Bows out here, all right, giving you that responsibility. Maybe there's an ending of that responsibility. Maybe it's time for you to be a leader and start delegating. Okay, you need to be creative in how to sell that plan to your boss or to your spouse or to whatever, where it's just hey, you know what, it's time to start delegating some of these chores to the kids, or hey boss, I want to delegate this task to somebody else. You have to be creative in that thought process and how you want to do it. So not only it's worthwhile for you, but it's worthwhile for those maybe to learn a new skill or anything. All right, we talked about the insecurity the other day. Don't be insecure with that responsibility that you have. Okay, don't get sucked into those vines. All right, you have to have that self-confidence. You have to have that self-esteem to move forward. Okay, with that Seven of Arrows. How do you become creative in that? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to not have to stand on that rock. Always be moving, so that way those arrows can't hit you. That could be the creative piece on that. And then again, you had that Ten of Arrows come back up, that instruction where it's like, you know what, I'm done. I can't teach any more than what I've already taught this young man or this young gal. I've given him the basics, I've helped him out, and it's time to move on. All right, it's time for me to retire from helping people shoot arrows. All right, and I'm gonna live in my house and just have fun. All right, that's what that Three of Stones talks about, is that creativity. All right, figure out the creative way of getting around whatever issue you have. You have options. All right, and that Three of Stones gives you more options. So that's today's message, that Three of Stones creativity. Hit that like button, share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments down below. This is D for Spirit's Path, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.